All right, so you guys may be wondering like, why is Coach JP here? You know, we're not in person. Me and MTF, we decided to come over, via Zoom to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about life skills. And just, I know that like, a lot of you guys are home, so we want to kind of, be some sort of someone you guys could talk to, someone you guys can hang out with for about like 30, 40 minutes of the day. So that's why we decided to do this little class. It's like a life, teach you guys a little bit about life skills. Do any of you guys know what life skills is by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would someone want to tell me what life skills is? Like learning about what the topic is at all? Well, life skills basically is just skills about life in general, whether if it's how to deal with issues or problems or how to cope with stress, and it could be all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, it's really just learning about how to handle situations, how to deal with life in general as a whole. So we're looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Can you guys see this picture screen over here too? I'm gonna hide this over here. So if you guys remember last summer, we worked with MTF, whoever is here. So like, I'm looking forward to, talk to you guys online for the next 5 weeks. But at the same time, I'm actually looking forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully we could be out in the parks at Merrill Park or Brown Deer and we could play some tennis together too as well. So to start off, guys, we're gonna do a game. It's called Peak Breaker. And I just want to give everybody a chance to talk. So you basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna name one thing you did while you were not at school, and then name one thing that either maybe upsets or stresses you out while you're being at home quarantine. And so after you name those two, you could pick someone's name in the group here, and then they could say those 2 bullet points as well. So I'll start. I'm Coach JP. One thing I did while I was not at school was, while I was not at working from home, I took my dog out on walks while quarantined, trying to stay away from people, but I was able to actually spend more time with my dog. But one thing that was maybe, stressed me out a little bit is that, I wasn't able to, see different kids, or I wasn't able to hang out with my friends like I usually do. Every day felt like a work day for me, because even on the weekends, I couldn't go anywhere, which I usually, like to do some sort of activity to, just kind of release some stress. So with that being said, I will pick one person. I'll pick Taidra. You go ahead and share your 2 bullet points for me.
One thing that I didn't do while I was at home, I actually sat down and read a book.
Nice.
One thing that stressed me out was my mother.
Why she stress you out for?
She presses me to do schoolwork.
Okay. Well, man,
Wake
school's
up
still
early.
important, right? Go early. Okay. Cool. Go ahead. You could go ahead and pick someone else.
Rosanna?
Of course you'll say my name. I guess one thing I did play more video games, I guess.
Wow.
My life didn't really change. One thing that stressed me out, yeah, I don't know. I don't know actually. Nothing really stressed me out right now.
Good. So you enjoy being at home, right?
Yep.
Just enjoy relaxing. All right.
Mhm.
Well, that's a good outlook to look at things. So a lot of people are stressing about it, but you're enjoying being at home.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Go ahead and pick another
Um.
person.
Lucas and Lola.
Okay. Well, one thing I did when not school is once I graduated, then I don't know what's his name.
One thing I did while at home is have been like going on walks, and I kind of like out like what if I get the coronavirus, or like what if one of my friends gets it, something like that.
Okay. So you was kind of scared about the whole situation. All right. Cool. You guys go ahead and pick one person in the group.
Silas.
Played trail with another family that we're friendly with, I guess. And I guess the one thing that has been stressing me out is homework. It seems like there's more homework since we have been out of school.
More homework. Okay.
Yeah.
At least that's good you're doing it. So some people aren't doing the homework. Go ahead, and you go ahead and pick someone else.
Caleb?
All right. Well, how about we have AJ go?
Um,
Hey, AJ.
Hi. What did I name one thing you did while not at school? Name one thing that upset your sister about being home. Well, I'm homeschooled, so while not at school, tennis, I guess, for the first one.
Mhm.
Name one thing that upset you or stressed you while being in quarantine.
Mhm.
Not being able to go to tennis.
All right. Tennis is life, right?
Yes.
So hopefully we get to play outside next 5 weeks here. So go ahead, pick someone else.
You just went.
Nikki didn't go.
Nikki then.
That's Marissa.
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 Oh, Marissa.
Well, one thing that I did while I wasn't at school was I clean my room more often. And then my dogs are stressing me out a lot while I'm quarantined. So yeah.
They too hyper?
Yeah, they'll just up and down the hallway.
That's cool. All right. Did any other MTF students not go yet? Did everybody go? Let's see.
I think the Bryants are here, but they're on mute right now, so I don't know if
Okay.
they're on mute. Same with Caleb's on mute too. I don't know if you can hit a button in the lower left to unmute Caleb. I don't know. Okay.
Caleb, do you want to go?
I can go if he's not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he.
While I wasn't at school, I practiced some gymnastics, like stretching and stuff. I did a few flips, practiced cello, and I worked out a bit. And one thing that stressed me out was my grades for online school.
Were they better, or were they worse than what you expected?
For gym, it was worse, but for everything else, it was better.
Let me ask you this question as a follow. What kind of grade? What kind of activity did you have to do for gym to get a good grade when you were at home?
It was like, well, they put like a lot of stuff that you had to type, and it was like 14 pages long.
Oh wow!
And
So it was like, not gym. Got some typing. All right, cool. All right, guys. And then, are we missing anyone else?
Yeah.
Did everyone go?
Say something.
Say something. Yeah. I went outside more often, and
One thing that stressed me out was my science teacher because he didn't put due dates on the assignment, so it's hard to do them.
Right. Not motivated to do it if you got no deadline, right? Cool.
Looks
Anyone
like we
else?
have one more login. I can't see who it is on Jason's. Beth, can you tell who that is?
Is that, oh, Jasmine, I think, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Jasmine. Can you see the, since you just joined us, JP's with us and he's asking everyone to list one thing you did, name one thing you did while not at school and one thing that maybe was a little stressful being quarantined.
Okay, see that again. Okay. I ride my bike.
Nice.
I play with my siblings. Do my homework.
Anything stressful or upsetting?
Homework.
We've heard that one today.
All right. All right, perfect. All right, sounds good. So from the peak breaker, we're actually going to transition to talk about what is brain alarm. Does anyone know what brain alarm is, coming back from our last summer with MTEF? I know I taught some of you guys what brain alarm was. I want to see if you guys remember. Anyone just kind of let me know what it is by chance? Rosie, AJ, I know you guys were in this. I want to know if I did a good job teaching you guys. All right, I'll put you guys on the spot. So I won't let you guys know what I'll let you guys know what brain alarm is. So what brain alarm is basically when you feel a sense of strong emotion in your body, whether if you're being, scared or you're upset or, you feel like you're going to cry, your heart racing, feeling dizzy. It's just that certain sense of urgency where you feel in your body where you're scared. Somewhere where I would say scared or you're very anxious. And so sometimes when we do brain alarm, you'll feel those parts in your body, whether if it's like your neck being hot, your face getting red, your ear ringing, your stomach's hurting, or your leg starts to shake, or you start to clench your fist. And so we want you guys to start thinking about the times where you get brain alarm and what you can do to kind of help self-counter the brain alarm action. And while you're in that phase of brain alarm, you got to think about how you're going to start catching yourself. So what catch yourself is, if you guys remember our craft change process, this is the first acronym. Catch yourself is when you realize you're getting a brain alarm. So you realize that you have to slow yourself down, catch your feelings, and don't react to the negative thoughts that you have and react negatively, but think of a positive way to reinforce that. So you don't react to, hitting someone back if they push you. You will be more of a receptive to, talking to someone else about that issue and, solving it in a different way where it's not violent or physical. Does anyone want to give me an example of a time where you caught brain alarm in a tennis match and how you caught yourself? Anyone want to give me an example?
I can go first.
Hey, there we go. I'm gonna give you a prize when I see you. Here, that might motivate you guys. Go ahead.
Well, over the summer when I had to play against the older Janaya, and it was like 1v1, it was really close. And yeah, it was like, I felt like bad either way. Like if I was gonna lose, I would feel bad. And I would also feel bad if I won because it was so close. And yeah, it was really scary. And I was just like trying not to get stressed so I wouldn't like mess up the game or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess doing that I just thought like it doesn't really matter as much as it seems in the moment, which helped me like catch myself, I guess.
Right. So you kind of thought like that's perfect example about it, because I always feel like that too when you're playing a really close point, really close in the game, and then after that you're kind of thinking like, okay, but you know I'm in this moment, it's very intense, but outside of it, it's not that big of a deal, so I can relax and just play my game and focus on every point. So that was a great example of your brain alarm and then catching yourself. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else want to share one more story before we jump into our activity?
I can't think of anything.
No, we're on the spot. Was that you, Lucas, that said that?
Oh
Or
my
was
God,
that
go
Lola?
lay down.
No. Lola, I know you want to share.
I think that was AJ who didn't have
AJ? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, I guess a brain alarm example for me is when I put my dog in a little kennel, and then she had an accident in the kennel, and so in my mind I got very frustrated and angry because I'm the only one that has to clean it all up. But instead of me having to scold my little puppy, I just told her to go outside to the bathroom, and she was already very scared. So instead of me, I caught myself by breathing in and taking a deep breath, but instead of me coming in and scolding her, I actually was able to let her go outside and clean it up real quick. And so that's how, and also kind of that explains the chain effects of what you do to other people. So do you guys think I'm lying? You guys see my little dog right here? Can you guys see her?
Yes.
That's my dog.
That's adorable.
Is it like a corgi or something?
It's a husky.
Oh, why is it so small?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe from bad angle. But yeah, maybe next time I'll do we'll have her like sit with me or something like that. You guys seem way more engaged with my dog than what I'm trying to teach you guys. All right. So this next thing, all right, so you know how we talked about, brain alarm and catching yourself? So let's look at recent news and talk about, overall topic of how what people's action can cause into creating a spider web of effects. And so I am going to jump into a news article and I'll read it out loud. And if you guys have different reactions, let me know. So it says Milwaukee police 6-year-old suffers graze wound after accidentally discharging a weapon. So basically what happens is a 6-year-old suffered a graze wound and she accidentally, shot herself with it. And then there are criminal charges against which was probably her grandmother, a 79-year-old woman who she probably lived with. So, and the police department is warning everyone to kind of, look after your firearm. But if you guys look at these sort of chain effects based on the actions that you do, can you guys tell me something that what are some actions that may have affected the 6-year-old child? What are some actions that may have affected the grandmother that was watching the child? Any examples?
Can you ask
Or
the
you guys know what would affect? Yeah, so what are the chain effects to, what kind of issues will what kind of issues would the 6-year-old child be dealing with after having that experience? Or what kind of issues would the, 70-year-old woman be experiencing having, let the child get access to her weapon?
I think the child would be traumatized in a way.
Right. That's a great answer. She definitely would be because she hurt herself. And now she, every time she hears a loud bang, that may affect her mentally. So that's a great one. Anyone else?
Well, they're definitely going to be more careful with their firearms and stuff.
Right. It's a good warning for everyone to, if you have firearms in your household, to be more safe and secure with your weapons and not where any other children can touch it. What is this? What do you think this, like, the 70-year-old woman is dealing with, not knowing that that child, like, she's facing two obstacles, right? Like the child, which is probably her grandchild, you know, she got hurt, but not only that, you know, she's facing, you know, charges that, you know, she really didn't mean to inflict on anybody, right? Can you guys name, like, how they would be affected if, you know, what other people are infected besides these two individuals? Could we think about how it could spider web out to different people?
If like the old woman was babysitting the child or something, there might not be someone who could watch over the child.
Right. And that is a great example. Like, what if that lady was the only one in the household that was watching her? You know, basically no one's gonna be able. What if that was like the only, like, her parent or the only person that could watch over her? So if she's facing issues, then, you know, no one's gonna watch her. She might have to go to foster care or something like that.
Yeah.
So so that's just one example of how, like, your actions, even though she's a little kid, you know, she doesn't know any better. But for example, if you're, like, you know, an adult, you're in school, and the actions you do, it can lead to other things affecting other people, and that's like the spider web effect, I like to call it. And so that's why it's so important to kind of, you know, be notice of your surrounding and catch yourself. So we'll do one more. So this one's more about, like, businesses and stuff. Basically, this article is saying that, you know, over 27, so we're suffering right now the COVID-19, the pandemic, and over, you know, 27 businesses have closed. And so they're out of business. You know, this is affecting themselves, their families, and you know, they're trying to do different things to kind of generate revenue for their restaurants and their organization, their business. But, like, if you think from their perspective with the COVID-19 going on, how are these business owners, how are they being affected by having their business closed down? Like, what is the consequence they're suffering through right now?
They're losing a lot of money.
Right, a lot of money, losing all your money that you invested in so hard to build up to, right? What else? What else could they be going through?
Financial problems.
Right, financial problems, you know, go ahead.
Maybe can't keep the like when everything gets back to normal, they can't keep their doors open or whatever, can't pay their spot rent or whatever.
Yeah, can't pay your rent. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, great example. And so in this article as well, they explain that, you know, they're not giving up. They're trying to overcome that by doing, I don't know if you guys heard of, like, curbside pickup, where people can order food online or via mobile app, and then they'll come in and you can pick up, you know, the orders online, or you could pick up the orders on the curbside for different restaurants. So that's what they're doing. So they're trying to overcome that obstacle and trying to kind of, you know, survive the pandemic through, you know, thinking of alternate ways of problem solving. So as you can see, even though they're suffering through a challenge that wasn't given to them, they're overcoming that by thinking of alternate ways. And so that's the purpose of catching yourself as well. You're looking for alternate ways to solve your issue and not just giving up on that issue. So any other questions? We are almost, we're at the 25-minute mark, but any questions at all with that article? Cool. All right, so we sent out some evaluation forms to your parents. And basically, I know some of you guys taken this before. This is the emotion emotion evaluation form. Basically, you know, like, how do you feel and stuff like that. Purpose of this is just to help us gather more data for our study and our program. So when you guys get the chance, you guys should do that now. I'm going to send you a link onto your chat, and you guys can fill that one out for me. I also have one more. it's a life skill pre-evaluation form. So this is kind of like a quick snippet of our life skills program. But what it is, just trying to teach you guys the craft change process each week. So our next topic will be a relax for next Tuesday.